There is such a thing as free lunch, at least for public school students in Colorado. For a second year in a row, the federal government is providing free meals to all students as part of COVID relief funding.
You heard that right. Free food, no strings attached, and many are hoping this will become permanent. Denver 7 education reporter NICOLE BRADY is going 360 to bring you the potential benefits and challenges of that.
And it's not just free lunch, it's free breakfast too for all students in Colorado and across the country, all grade levels, with the exception of those a la carte options that some middle and high schools have. So now the big question is, will this end up being just a temporary pandemic benefit, or is now the time to say all kids eat free? It's back to school, and the kids have their backpacks, their supplies, but many are leaving the lunch boxes at home. This year, kids can eat school meals for free.
My daughter loves to eat the school lunch. She loves Sloppy Joe's, she loves the Pizza Hut and all that.
From Sloppy Joe's to salad bars, school lunch is an American tradition. So we're taking an in-depth look at whether lunch should stay permanently free.
All the kids know me.
Marisol Vasquez volunteers in DPS schools and regularly sees hungry kids.
I see kids come in the office like, hey miss, I need a snack, or my head hurts, or call my mom because I want to go home.
Her family qualifies for food assistance, but Marisol believes even kids from higher income families shouldn't have to worry about lunch money.
It should be free for everyone. Sometimes the income that they have to pay 50 cents, 75 cents. I'm one of those moms like care for the kids, so it's like, oh well, here's $1 or something, you know, and I had to get them something to eat.
Before the pandemic, around 40% of Colorado kids qualified for free lunch, and around 7 to 8% qualified for a reduced price meal. The rest paid full price, but many families racked up school lunch debt.
Last school year, Denver schools had committed to feeding every student, regardless of their ability to pay.
In 2018, we reported that Denver public schools families owed $350,000. THERESA PENA with DPS Food and Nutrition Services said last year, when all the kids ate for free, divisions between students disappeared.
And we think that really breaking bread together eliminates the stigma of who school meals are for. In DPS over the last few years, and most recently going into this year, we have a huge initiative where we want all students to eat together. We think that that's part of the learning day.
Colorado's Department of Education said free meals last year also meant that kids moved through the cafeteria line faster, they had more time to eat, and they ate healthier meals.
Cabbage and celery.
We are so strictly guided by federal guidelines, right? We can't just serve exactly what the kids want to eat. Some of these kids, when they come to eat, it's their only quality meal for the day.
Advocates tout the benefits of universal school meals, but there was a downside. Last year, because meals were free, the Colorado Children's Campaign says around 50,000 fewer Colorado students turned in the free and reduced price lunch application.
That actually directly impacts the at-risk factor, is what it's called in our school finance funding formula.
Here's the problem. Funding for Colorado school districts is based on how many kids qualify for a free or reduced lunch. So right now, schools still need that information. But going forward, advocates want schools to use a different measure of poverty. It's something state lawmakers are already looking into.
There are other proxies that feel more appropriate and accurate of a child's full experience and a child's living situation.
Of course, another challenge to providing free meals is the cost and who should pay it. Last month, California and Maine became the first states to pass universal free lunch at the state level. That might not be so easy in Colorado, though.
In Colorado, we have some limits on collecting more revenue based on the Taxpayer Bill of Rights. So it would require us going to the voters.
That's why advocacy group Hunger Free Colorado is pushing for Congress to pass free lunch at the federal level. It won't be cheap. In 2019, before the pandemic, the National School Lunch Program cost at least $14 billion. Advocates are hoping that feeding kids may be one thing politicians can agree to spend money on.
We would hope for everyone having healthy food is as important as books for kids. They need healthy food to be able to concentrate, to be able to participate, to be happy.
And we could see more challenges as the school year gets underway. A survey just released by the School Nutrition Association found 97% of school nutrition directors are worried about pandemic supply chain disruptions for food. 90% are worried about staffing shortages. And just last week, I reported Jeffco schools are struggling to hire kitchen staff. And 82% are worried about low participation in the free meals. So we'll be tracking all of this. It certainly remains to be seen if this will be a popular option, especially for older students who have more food available to them. But I'll just say, if it was my teenager, I would stop giving them any money and tell them to eat the free lunch. while it's free. We want to hear from you too. Of course, you can email us at 360@thedenverchannel.com.